Chaya, good evening, Sambit sir. Good evening,
Good
all
evening
the
to you.
students.
Yeah, good evening to all of you.
So, Chaya, we start now then. I think it's time. Most of them have joined us.
Yes, sir, we can.
So, yes, please.
Yes, I welcome you all to the webinar, and I'm Chayanika Das. I welcome you on behalf of Edukemy. This is a webinar regarding how to ace your UPSC preparation. So here we will discuss about how you go about the UPSC services with a special mention with the Odisha PCS services. We are one of the leading industries who have received awards, being the startup of the year for preparation courses. The founding members from our edtech are from Odisha itself, so it is like the home ground for us, and it's a way of giving back to the state. And we know the potentials of the state, hence we would like to start and intervene in the preparation and help people from Odisha to prosper and qualify more. And here also I would like to tell you about some of the ventures. For example, for your current affair preparation, we have our Gazette and Cosmos. Gazette is like a daily magazine newsletter where you don't have to go about all the newspapers daily. If you come to Gazette itself, you will get a compilation of all the required news articles which are important for your examination. In terms of Cosmos, Cosmos is a geography and environment newsletter. People who are opting for geography as an optional can definitely go through this. You will have all the important key terms and the news in detail over here, which will also be very helpful for you. Now coming to Edukemy, we are a student-centric institute which focuses on student-first policy. We are always looking into the betterment of the student first, then comes the rest. Whatever mentorship you need, faculty to faculty mentorship, everything is given from my side. And as I already mentioned about Odisha PCS, because of the ample amount of talent that we have from the state, like for example, some of the well-known bureaucrats from Odisha is our renowned RBI chief, that is Shaktikant Das. We have Pramod Kumar Mishra, Aparajita Sarangi ma'am, Rupa Mishra ma'am. Then we have Girish Chandra Murmu sir, and everyone out here who have always excelled and showed that there has been great potential from the state. Rest, even though we are not mentioning, but not the least. And now I would like to welcome our honorable guest, Mr. Sambit Tripathy sir, who has been the ex-income tax chair commissioner from Delhi, has qualified UPSC in his first attempt, also has been the rank holder in OPSC rank 5. For UPSC also he has been ranked 49. He has some of the great achievements in the field of services, being the secretary of tax policy division. He also was the director of Ministry of Shipping. He served as the OSD to Ministry of Petroleum, and now after taking VRS, he is serving to the nation by opening up a startup which talks about who is working towards the livelihood with the name Livelihood Alternatives, with great academic achievements, also getting MPhil from JNU, law from Delhi University, someone who has qualified in UGC and JRF. Also, now I would like to welcome our panelist who is also the CA of the company, Mr. Shabbir sir, co-founder of Edukemy and one of the most leading name in the industry of civil services preparation. He has a career span of 18 plus years, still counting, giving some of the best bureaucrats to the nation. And with this, I would like to give forward to Shabbir sir to please start the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chaya, for the quick introduction. Fine then. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Sambit. He has been in the service for quite some time. He has qualified OPSC. He has also qualified UPSC in the revenue service. And I have been a teacher for almost 20 odd years. Very proud to introduce Edukemy to Odisha. Very proud that we have taken our first step to introduce our institution across the country, and the beginning is from Odisha. So before I say what all I have in mind about how to prepare and how to go about, I would quickly expect if some of you could ask us what all you want to discuss. I will welcome Mr. Sambit Tripathy to speak up and share his ideas. And guys, can you tell us from where are you in Odisha? I believe Sambit sir, you right now are in Bhubaneswar.
Yeah. Right now I'm in
parts of the
Bhubaneswar.
country. Yeah.
But I think there are a lot of people who are joined from outside, which is definitely a very good thing.
Yes.
As I can see from the names, not everybody is from Odisha. So that's good. We have a very cosmopolitan crowd here.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
It is all are welcome. And this is, I think, one of the first webinars, right? Sabirji is the first
one of the first webinars addressing the state services. So yes, we do have students from Maharashtra, Punjab, somebody from Lucknow, somebody from Kolkata. I'll be more than happy if I can reduce Edukemy to UP PCS also. Punjab PCS, Maharashtra State Services. We have Archit Jha from Vizag. We have Rishabh Panda from Hyderabad. So it's possible that some of them are outside Odisha, but maybe a good number of them are planning for OPSC. So we also have Abhishek from Bihar PCS, Sakshi Srivastava from Varanasi in UP. Yes, a very happy moment for all of us to see students from across the country join us. So, sir, I think we have a fair idea about who all are our participants. If you can share your experience, if you can share how did you go about preparing, what motivated you, what challenges you had faced. It'll be nice.
Right.
I leave this panel for you for some time now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think I'll just like to welcome everybody here. And I'm sure that all of us who are here, we share some common ideas. And that idea is all about giving an exam, which is considered to be the toughest in the country. I'll not say in the world, but in the country. It ranks as one of the toughest exams that any student of the who has completed graduation is aspiring for. Now let me talk about the way how, like I'll tell about from my experience, in the sense that I have a template, and that template I have named as idea. Idea, where I stands for ideation, D stands for design, E stands for engagement, and A stands for application. Now, what do I mean when I talk about the concept of ideation? Now, ideation is all about concept. It's all about a dream. It's all about an ambition that almost all of us have. And that is why we are together here in this webinar. We have a dream of cracking an exam, and that basically talks about germination of a concept of my joining a particular career, a career choice. And that is what the UPSC or OPSC is all about. It starts with a dream. The dream can come at any stage of one's life. For me, it came in class 6. For some, it may come at the stage of graduation. Some, it may come after post-graduation. And for some, it can come after joining a job. The next is design. Now, having a dream is not enough. Now, I can think of creating a mansion, but I need to have the right tools, the right designs. And I need to have an architect who will give me a layout. Now here, there is no external architect. It is you. It is the individual who wants to appear for the exam, who has to create a roadmap for himself. Now, what do I mean by creating a roadmap? Now, it's very crucial in the sense that when we are taking a step, we're deciding that we are going to give this exam, we must know our strengths. And at the same time, we should know what our weaknesses are all about. I'll give a very small example. Some people may have very good efficiency and proficiency in an alien language called English. Now, if you are good at English, then you can take any subject, say sociology or public ad, or for that matter, anthropology. But if you think that you are not good at that subject, that particular language, then the world does not come to an end. You have various technical subjects. Geography is one of them. If you do not have that kind of confidence in your language skills, then you can always think about choosing a subject which gives you an advantage in the context of your disadvantage, so-called disadvantage. The third thing that I would talk about is the concept of engagement. Now, when I talk about engagement, whenever we decide on a subject, it is one should remember that this is an exam which does not select. It's an exam it is not an exam for selection. It's an exam for elimination. So, not that the people who make it are good and the people who do not make it are not good. It's like, for instance, we have 1,000 vacancies and 1 lakh, for instance, they compete for these 1,000 vacancies. Out of this 1 lakh, 10,000 would be good. So what explains the elimination of 9,000 and selection of 1,000? It is essentially, there are a host of factors, we'll come to it, but one of them primarily is how much you are engaged with the subject that you are taking. The commitment towards a subject. The subject is not about mugging facts. I was looking at the questions of the last 3 years, general studies especially. They test your analytical skills. And if you want to test your analytical skills, then you have to have a commitment for the subject. You need to have an engagement with the subject. You need to love the subject. Until unless you love the subject that you have taken, I don't think it is possible to endure the rigors of the exam, which is not only known for the length of time that you have to spend, but also which involves a lot of hard work. And finally, it comes to application. When you talk about application, application involves the concepts of time management, the concepts of 3 Ps, where you have to practice. Once you have a mastery of the subject matter, it does not matter how much time you have spent with a particular subject. You keep practicing, you keep revising, you keep thinking, you keep looking at various notes, because especially for people who are taking humanities, it's very important the kind of materials that they have access to, the kind of books that they have read, because for same question, unlike engineering or for science subjects where 1 + 1 is 2, if you have taken some subject like sociology or political science or POBAT, for the same question there can be multiple answers. And that's also true of general studies. Since general studies have got a very preponderant emphasis in the present curricula, it is important that you have the sources that you have access to. You should have your notes ready so that you can revise. So that is very important. So these are the 4 things I thought, and I wanted to put it in the form of a template.
So if you allow me to summarize, so what I understand, we have a couple of questions also coming up now. Keshav has asked us a question. Lambodar is asking a question. Minal is telling us he's from Nagpur. And Dharmender, you have been raising your hand for some time. You have any questions to ask? You can always type your question. I will pass it on to sir to answer. I'll just sum up what sir has said. So if you have noticed well, number one, he talked about the whole idea of UPSC or bureaucracy as an ambition first. So when you are in your graduation, when you are doing your +3 or engineering or general whatever, your ambition is very important, and that ambition comes from some inspiration. So you have to be very clear about what are you inspired by. That's what he talked about, what inspired him. That is one. Second, he said that it's always possible. You have some competencies and there are some gaps. One big gap people talk about is the language gap. Okay, that is not a very, very limiting factor, though if you have English as a subject helps you. But if English is not as good, you can always look for options which do not entail too much of English language. So if all of you understand Odia, I could speak a couple of words in Odia too. So Bhai Mane, I'm happy to address you as Bhai and Bhoni, because I consider myself as one of the youngest in the team. So all of you, one suggestion to all of you is, first of all, language English mein besi byasto heboni. It's nice if you can practice. It's nice if you can learn your language and have command in English. But jodi ba English nahi bhi bahut bhalo, kichi asubidha ete nahi. You can always pick it up in the process of preparation. And UPSC also allows you. You can give the examination in Odia also. Okay, Odia parikha Odia de pari, but the only problem is then you must have mastery in Odia language also. We'll come to that afterwards, how to go about it. Tapare sir kotha kohuthile optional bisare. Now, optional is a very important part of your preparation, but before you get an optional, you must also consider what is your graduation background. Jodi tomane graduation korucho engineering ru, graduation korucho history ru, ki pol science ru, ki sociology ru, ki geography ru, it'll be nice if you can also consider those options first. Okay, and the fourth thing I was talking about is how can you manage your preparation. A very important aspect of preparation is practice. Jete practice koribo, jete notes lekhibo, the more number of times you revise your notes, it helps you. That was just giving a quick crux of what the examination entails. So one of you is asking us, what is the way of reading newspapers? This is coming from Shivam. Shivam, now dekho, newspapers to ame 4-5 newspaper tumago suggest karibu. One is the Hindi newspaper. Second is the Indian Express as a newspaper. We also recommend that you should read Economic Times if possible. We also recommend that you should read maybe Business Line, but the key newspaper will be, of course, Hindu and Indian Express. But what we have done is, we have tried to compile all the current affairs into one news gazette. It's a daily feature. It comes up. We'll share the link with you. It is free of cost for all of you. You can all log in on our website or our general Telegram channel. Chaya, if you can share the link of our general Telegram channel, they can all also participate and get active there also.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
So that will help you cover your general your current affairs also. Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, Mugda Hazre. I understand some of you are looking for English alone. Swapnil also is English alone. Okay. We'll have more of English than Odia. I thought most of you are from Odisha. That's why we'll do that. So I think the base discussion is set, that you have to be inspired. Make sure you pick up the good optional. Make sure that you are revising, and let your concerns around maybe language not bother you too much to begin with, at least. The question is,
can I add two
yes,
things here?
please. It's a conversation.
I just missed two things here. The number one, like, which I did not have a problem because I was in a hostel atmosphere. But anyone who is not having a hostel atmosphere, like many of you who are living alone in some like in PG or other places, for them it's very important that you need to have a community. So if you have a good set of people who also are preparing for the exam, and the right set of people that you have, it really helps, number one. And the second thing, which is also very important, is that you need to have a mentor. The mentor, you can, if you are good enough, you can have your own set of books, or you can join some place which gives direction. Essentially, you need to have a direction, because with the explosion of social media, the information, it is very easy to get lost in the jungle of information.
absolutely.
So you need someone who can guide you and who can provide the channels by which you can sift what is relevant from the irrelevant. That saves time, and that also provides the necessary direction which one needs to take. So these are the two things which I think I didn't mention, which I thought I should mention.
So if I can summarize what you said, just summarizing what sir said. Now see, in your preparation, whether it is OPSC preparation, whether it is OPSC preparation, or for that matter, any state PCS, many of you have joined from different states, any states PCS, or you talk about UPSC preparation. Okay, one of the very important aspects of preparation is you have to be properly inspired. Okay, inspired as in you should know why are you preparing, what is it that you want to get out of it. Your motivation matters a lot. That's what I mean by inspiration. Inspiration is more of your emotion aspects. It's more about your determination. Okay, it's more about your willpower, inspiration. The second very important aspect is, okay, related to your competencies. When I say competencies, we're talking about language competencies, we're talking about your subject competencies. It is basically related to your skill sets. Okay. A third aspect that sir is talking about is something called as support. So you might have competencies, you might have the right inspiration, lekin jodi support nahi, if you don't have good support, it becomes a challenge. And support in two forms. You can have support in the form of your peers, your friends, your students' community, support from the small group of people who are studying together. And another form of support is your mentor and your teacher. So if you ask me, what is it that you need to prepare for the examination? So you will have to do these three things correctly. Develop your competencies. Competencies are more around reading which book, what way of reading, how do you revise, how do you make your notes, your language proficiency, and so on. And support is very, very important. Okay. In fact, this is where I think the revolution that we are seeing in our digital medium, the revolution we are seeing on the online medium, okay, good amount of support, mentorship, teachers are now able to reach out to students across the country. They're able to reach out to students in different parts of the nation and different geographies. Okay, so sir, I just summing up what you are saying, not to add anything right now. Okay, so I hope we're answering some of the basics. In OPSC, we're prepared for two options. Yes, that is definitely one of the important aspects of the state, but not for all states. So OPSC, we have got two optionals. Okay, not for not for all the states.
A lot of students also have this doubt if like they divide both OPSC and UPSC in two different slots.
Yes.
Someone who is preparing for OPSC may think that it is quite a daunting task to go for UPSC, and someone who is preparing for UPSC may think it's a very small thing. Why should I go for OPSC? Now, this is something which I have confronted in my student career also, and also once I joined the service, people keep asking me. My simple answer has always been that when you are preparing to be a cricketer, so you start with the Ranji match. You don't directly go and start playing the test match. So one should consider the OPSC, or for that matter, since many of my friends are from other states, and I'm sure they would be giving state services, one should always test one's competence, one's skills, one's level of preparation at OPSC or at the state level, and then it becomes quite easy for someone to sit for the UPSC exam. So that is how I look at the dichotomy and how I look at the whole process of preparing for OPSC and UPSC, or state services and UPSC.
Yes, I agree. Actually, students, just to build on what sir has said, again, I will share my screen and explain this to all of you. Now, see, it's like this. If you look at the rigor required, if you look at the efforts required, if you look at what type of time commitments you required, so we all will definitely rate UPSC at a higher level, and the amount of rigor, time, and reading required for the state services is relatively not as rigorous, but of course there are other challenges. Now you have both the methods. You can prepare for state services, develop your confidence in the state services, and then probably move on towards UPSC. Okay, a lot of people do that. In fact, if you qualify in the state examination, UPSC definitely looks more manageable and you feel motivated. But there are students who do the reverse also. They start the preparation from UPSC because UPSC requires more amount of time and intensity in preparation. And then they come to state, the state preparation becomes relatively more manageable. So there is no golden rule. For some, I know state preparation first and then UPSC works for them. That's perfectly fine. And for others, you can start. I've seen students prepare for UPSC, develop the base there, have that type of rigor, and then come and qualify the state examinations. And even after you have qualified the state examinations, you can always try to qualify UPSC in 1 or 2 attempts. So there is no golden rule as to what works the best. I believe, Sambit sir, you started the other way around. You qualified the state services first. That must have given you a huge morale boost. And then you went on to ace the UPSC examination.
It actually, the dates actually coincided. So I didn't have to
Okay,
do much.
okay.
So the another thing which I think from my experience I would like to share is that whenever you are reading something, for instance, you're reading a newspaper or you are reading something like a front line, what I used to do is to see if there are some good facts. I used to keep a separate note of that. And also when I used to come across certain good editorials, good writings, then also I used to keep a note of that. So that, say, for instance, what is happening in Afghanistan or Taliban, if there is a good analysis about the geopolitical relevance of US or the strategic imperatives for India, you come across a very good article. I think you need to make notes and keep it. So that really helps during the during your final preparation stage. That is one practical tip I thought I should share.
Yes, absolutely. And more so, when lot of content, in fact, the syllabus of UPSC and the syllabus of OPSC or syllabus of many of the other state examination, there is lot of overlap and commonalities. What differs actually is maybe the rigor of study. What differs maybe is the intensity of preparation. Okay, but if you have commonalities there, like sir said, do make up your notes, do write down some jottings, prepare some kind of your revision material, and you can use it across the examinations. Okay, that's excellent. No, Sushri, ODIA is a compulsory subject for OPSC. So if you do not know ODIA, you can't write or read, then I do not think you can get into OPSC preparations, Sushri. Yes, you're saying something, I interrupted.
No, I was telling is that I just happened to go through the GS question papers last 3 years, and I gave the exam in '97. If I compare the journey of 20 years, what I see right now is that in case of UPSC, they emphasize a lot on the analytical skills of the candidates. It is just not a straightforward a question answer session when you are writing an exam. It is more about how much you have understood along with relevant facts and your analysis of a particular situation or a particular question matters. So that brings in a bit of intellectual rigor into the whole exercise of answering the questions in UPSC. Whereas in OPSC, it is more or less the same pattern continues, which is less rigorous, but it helps. There is a continuum in the sense that both of them overlap, many things they overlap. So this is something which the candidates need to keep in mind and develop your own you have to have your own intellectual application of mind, not just, it is not a question of mugging, it's a question of analyzing facts,
understanding, appreciation, yes.
Appreciation and putting it within a framework, which may be your own unique framework. So that thing should always be kept in mind.
Yes, yes. We have some questions here. How to analyze current affairs for beginners? Amol Bagjugar. Now, Amol, analysis does not come on the first day. I think you should start reading newspapers first. Take up an article, understand the article, read 2 or 3 times, make your notes. Analysis comes slowly, gradually. It's too early to ask about how do we have analysis. Okay, that's one question you asked me.
I'll just add one thing, Shabbir.
Yes, please.
Like how we used to do this. We used to have a group of friends who used to every Saturday come together and then discuss about what has happened, what are the important events which have happened, both at the national level and at the international level. So we used to make our own notes and analyze and have a discussion and debate on that. That really used to help us, and that had really helped us in sharpening our skills in this particular area. So that is what I was hinting at when I said that you need to have a peer group. As rightly he said, you need to have a community, a peer group who are also appearing for the same set of exams. So that really helps.
just summarizing again what sir said. Now see, it's like this. Your current affairs, this is definitely a major part of your preparation. The source of current affairs are newspapers. The source of current affairs are magazines. The source of current affair can be internet also. Okay. Now, the sources are numerous. What I will suggest to all of you is to start with. So when you are starting your preparation, to start with, I'll say, try to read 2 articles every day, because many of you are just beginning. When I say 2 articles, look for the article which is in what is called as the editorial sections. 2 articles, okay, commit karo. Maybe 1 article you can take up from Hindu if you want to take up the Hindu. You can take up another article from Indian Express if you think that is a decent article to read. So your objective to begin with is not to have analysis. To begin with, you do 2-3 things. Number 1, get into a habit first. Habit of reading current affairs for 2 to 3 hours. This is the first thing. Second thing is get into a habit of making notes, making your jottings. Then you get into the habit of trying to understand what you read. If you can do this much and spend maybe, I'll say 2 to 3 months on this first. So your objective is not to cover all current affairs. Your objective is not to know everything on the planet. Right now, for the next 2 or 3 months, not hours, 2 or 3 months, your objective is to start developing a habit of reading newspapers. So spend time enough for just 2 articles, that's all. And make your notes, please. Ye bahut important hai. And along with this, some of you have been asking me, can you read those compilations? Yes, you can. So there are a lot of compilations that you have in the market. Okay. And one such compilation we provide free of cost. You go to our website. There is a compilation under the name of Edukemy Gazette. It is like a newspaper. In fact, our intention is somewhere to replace the newspaper if possible. And this gazette is approximately 10 to 12 pages. PDF is downloadable. Aap jao, go to internet, register yourself free of cost. You can download it. So if you maintain this regimen, maybe 2 or 3 hours on this, maybe 1 hour for this is a good beginning for current affairs to start with. So guys, have I answered your question? Have I answered your concern around current affairs? Arnav, don't try to cover everything right now. आपको case study भी पढ़ना है. Don't do it right now. Right now, get into a habit of reading newspapers first. So Keshav says that he has not read newspapers ever. Does not matter, Keshav. कहीं ना कहीं शुरुआत करनी होती है. कभी न कभी आपको beginning करना होगा. So let this beginning happen with you starting to read 2 or 3 articles first. And on top of this, what sir was telling is, your current affair preparation can be helped if you are in a group of maybe 2, 3, 4 friends. It's always nice if you are preparing in a small group or a company, because this examination demands tremendous amount of discipline and habit. So if you are friends working together, you tend to support one another. If the friends working together, you can always leverage each other's advantages. Like one can be good in history, one can be good in economy, one can probably focus on some area that he likes, one could be good in sports. So if you get together and work as a discipline, it will help your preparation. Okay? I hope you have understood this now. Now see, like I said, this webinar is not to answer all your questions around preparation. What we want is a start of the preparation. In Odisha and in the states, we see tremendous amount of talent. We see tremendous amount of opportunity for all of you to qualify. Okay, and we have people who have qualified from very, very modest backgrounds and not so encouraging backgrounds. They come from tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities. So if you can start off, and our webinar is to probably ignite that passion in you in your preparation, right? Sir, you would like to add something to this, Sambit sir?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what you have just mentioned, that this is not something which is a rocket science. People common people coming from very modest backgrounds, from across the cities, small towns, they crack it. The people who have you rarely find people who are coming from very rich backgrounds cracking the civil services examination. It's very rare. It is always the first, and 90% of first generation UPSC qualified officers in the government of India. So this, as you rightly said, the very purpose of this webinar is to instill the confidence and also ignite a kind of dream in the candidates. And with the right support and right exposure, I think it is a very, very doable thing.
Yes, yes, I agree on that. I agree on that. So now a lot of questions are around how to choose optional subject. So let me get into that mode now. So we will take up your questions one by one. So one aspect we have discussed is, the first thing we have discussed is how to manage current affairs. I said, start the process. Newspapers are important, get into a habit. This we have done. The second question I'm picking up is how to choose optional subject. Okay, now listen. If you all know how you have prepared for your graduation, you will appreciate the fact that not all of us are studying a subject that we like. Like, at least in my case, that was true. I don't know about you, Sambit sir.
No, I like the subject.
Oh, great. So it's rare for most of us. Why? Because we get trapped into the social pressures. We get trapped under parental pressures. Some of us get into engineering because it is apparently the in thing. Some of us prepare for some subjects which we do not want, but we get into it. So my point here is the optional subject. One of the consideration is your graduation subject. Okay, but then if your graduation subject is not your strength, in 8 out of 10 students that I know, graduation subject is not their strength. Most of them are mechanically studying graduation subject. So if it is not your strength, then you can also consider other subjects. Okay, and other subjects mean there are 5 or 6 subjects that are relatively more popular. For example, and this is true for across states wherever optionals are there. Geography is a popular optional. In some states, even history is popular, although history is not as popular for UPSC examination. Public administration is also fairly popular. In recent times, last 3-4 years, political science and international relation has also become very popular. We have sociology as a very popular option. And I'm told in Odisha state, home science is very popular. Although home science is not a subject in the UPSC examination. And if you are in engineering background, I think the options you have is mechanical engineering, civil engineering, and electrical engineering. So if you are very good in your subject in engineering, go for it, no problem. In fact, a lot of people, what they do is the engineering students, they either choose engineering optional if they are really good at it, or they end up taking mathematics also. They also take up physics. I've seen people take up physics. But the problem with physics and mathematics is that, remember, you will be competing with students who have done these subjects from very reputed institutions with very good fundamentals. So if your fundamentals are not good in mathematics and physics, my suggestion is don't go for it. But if you're confident, like I said, if you're confident, if you know you can pull it off, how do you know that? Look at the syllabus, look at last 5-6 years question paper asked in the different examination. So you generally know whether you are good in a subject or not. If you're confident there, then please go for mathematics or physics also. Otherwise, for general students, I think these are the 6-7 options that you can consider. So CS students, it's up to you what you want to take up. Okay, it's up to you what you think you have competency in, no problem. Now, how you choose an optional is, A very good way of choosing is read the NCERT textbooks. Okay, and preferably read the 11th and 12th class textbooks in geography, in history, you have in political science, you have in sociology, in home science, I believe do not have. But if you read the basic NCERT textbooks, you have a fair understanding of whether you like the subject or not. A very important consideration in optionals choosing is you have to like the subject. Why we say this is because it's nice to aspire to qualify in the first attempt. It's nice to aspire to qualify within 1 year. But in most cases, you take 2 or 3 attempts. So if you do not like a subject, if you do not have a feel for the subject, it's very difficult to read the same subject year after year for 3-4 years. It's very difficult to go and visit your notes again and update your notes if you do not have that kind of feeling for the subject. That is why we insist, please like your subject. Please make sure you have some affinity, okay, for that subject. Otherwise, it becomes an absolute mess. And remember one golden rule. In this examination, there are no good subjects and there are no bad subjects. Remember this. The possibility of qualifying from a subject is, for most of us, 50-50. You may qualify, you may not qualify. There are students qualifying from language also. There are people qualifying from, some of the subjects like chemical, like chemistry also. People who qualify for mathematics also, physics also.
And Pali also. Pali also was on
the these days Pali is no longer offered in UPSC. But people have qualified, those are optionals also. So there are no good optionals, there are no bad optionals. It's all about your interest. It's all about your investment. You have to invest time in the subject. Because see, if one subject was the best subject, then probably all those who qualify would have qualified from that one subject. True. In UPSC, the top 6-7 subjects jo hain, on an average, the percentage of students who qualify range between 7 to 9%. 7 to 9% in geography, 7 to 9% in sociology, 7 to 9% in political science, and in some years it might fall a couple of points, other years it might rise a couple of points. There is nothing called as a best subject to take up. It is about your interest, it's about your investment you are willing to put in based on whether you like the subject or not. The rule is you have to be in command of the subject. This is very important. You have to have thorough command on the syllabus of the subject and whatever concepts are there in that subject. Sambit sir would like to add something on this. I mean, this is something I cannot emphasize enough. Okay.
No, I think you have covered the entire gamut of options and opportunities.
Yes.
And you have also created the right template for the candidates to adhere to. In fact, as you rightly said, NCERT should be the starting point, and the candidates, if they are starting afresh, should spend some time in appreciating the subject and also getting to know whether they really would like that subject or not, because it's a long journey ahead.
Yes, yes. So, guys, anything else you want us to answer? We have covered current affairs. Keshav, it is not for me to suggest what subject you can take, Keshav. You have to do the dirty work to take up 2 or 3 subjects that you think you can study and look at the NCERTs, look up the syllabus, and then probably you can opt and talk to the teacher concerned. So it is not for me to suggest, it's for you to choose. Okay. No, Keshav, I have no clue about chemical engineering. You must ask. I'm not very sure if chemical engineering is offered as an option or not. So please ask your peer groups who have qualified, maybe ask on the internet. It's for you to find that out. Book list and material are similar. Dekho, Sayak, the edge that you're looking for, the edge does not come from reading more books. The edge comes from you understanding the concepts better. The edge does not come from adding to your reading list. The edge comes from how well you appreciate the concepts that you have read. The edge comes from how do you write the answer. By reading one extra book does not mean you will have an extra edge. In fact, most people who read too many books, they actually don't qualify. Those who read too many books, they become teachers actually. Okay, so if you want to become a teacher, go read too many books. But if you want to qualify, what's important is understand what you read, and importantly, learn the art of writing answers. Learn the art of expressing what you know and what the question asks in that time limit and in that word or the space limit. And otherwise, whatever book list you want, it's all there on the internet. It's on the website you can take up here. Okay, so we have covered 3 areas: how to cover current affairs, how to choose the optional, and like I said, okay, what can you do to keep yourself motivated studying with your friends. Along with geography, Abhishek, along with geography, again, you're asking a wrong man these type of questions. You must, like for example, when I was preparing, at some phase of my preparation, I had public administration as an optional. Then I switched towards psychology and option also. Okay, and please, Abhishek, do not go by which subject is more scoring. I'm explaining that to you. There are students in the same subject, somebody can get very high scores, and the same subject, somebody will not even cross double digits. There's nothing like scoring optional. It's all about the time you put in. So
See,
you pick.
Savij, as you rightly said,
Yes.
from my experience, I can just add one thing. In my graduation, I did my 12th in science, then I switched over. I didn't, luckily my parents did not force me to appear for the engineering subjects. So I did my graduation in sociology, and I had the other option of geography, what we have honors and pass in Odisha. And I continued with my sociology in JNU, and I took both we at that point of time in 97, when I was appearing for UPSC, that time we had to take 2 optionals. So I had sociology and geography. So I started, effectively my preparation started from 92, and it was a great advantage for me because my preparation continued up to post-graduation. I took the same subjects which I studied in graduation. So that's what I think your first thing was, that if you have an option of taking your graduation subject, please go ahead and take it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Lambodar, the qualifying marks is generally 1/3 marks. Already, although the examination or the syllabus does not say so. Nowhere have they mentioned exactly. They just say you have to score qualifying marks. But we all understand it's the 1/3. 33% आपको आना चाहिए. ठीक है? Keshav, you're asking questions which are available straight away. Look up the net. Ask us something else on which we can help you. If a general category students, I think the age limit is 32. Okay. If you are from a reserve category, you have got more attempts and higher age limit. These things you can look up. Ask us something else we can help you in. The time optimal for test series. No. Test series always comes after the course is over. It is not to be taken before the course is over. And optimal number enrollment, ऐसा कुछ number नहीं है. Okay, Sayak, there's no magic number here. You give the test for the sake of practice. You give the test for the sake of, okay, your revision. It's up to you. So if you feel you are burning out, then don't give the test anymore. But do give some tests. Okay, some of you have questions on the question answer. Let me check this up. Besides English, what other subjects? Okay, Malayalam, Marathi, Odia, whatever subjects you need, or you can take up. Keshav. Samparna Dalbehra. You are from Puri, a UPSC since 2 months. Some idea how to study current affairs. So Samparna, I think I have answered your question on how to prepare current affairs. Okay, start with 2 or 3 articles first. Which newspaper can you refer to? All of us know Hindu or Indian Express are the best newspapers, but lately you can also go for compilations. Okay, that's fine. Some tips about 2021 UPSC, how to solve. Abhishek, this webinar is for the freshers. I will not take up questions related to examination coming in next 1 month. I don't think I want to mess up. At this stage, Abhishek, do not take any advice. Do what you are good at and keep backing yourself. Don't take advice on preparation 1 month before the examination, please. Is sociology optional available? Yashraj, we have started with it, but we have discontinued it for now. But we can start it again. But yes, there are optionals. There are options in sociology also. How to prepare OPSC and UPSC simultaneously? Samparna, no, I have not encouraged that. Don't prepare the 2 examinations simultaneously. Okay, if you want to focus on UPSC, then focus on UPSC for at least 1 or 2 years. You want to focus on OPSC, then focus on OPSC initially. But don't prepare both the subject examination at the same time. Okay, I think, what is your view on this, Sambit sir? Is it possible to prepare?
It will vary from person to person. So there cannot be a very straight answer. So I think maybe people who are taking a subject for the first time, who do not have much command on the subject, this answer I think is appropriate. They should concentrate only on one examination, and then with the passage of time should graduate to the other.
Okay, thank you so much. Neelam, Yojana Kurukshetra, look for the summaries. That will be nice. Third year of BTech, excellent. In fact, there's something, sir, the trend has changed. We encourage students to start off preparation in the 2nd and 3rd year with the basic readings of NCERT. What we realized lately is a lot of students who jump in the examination, their base is not strong. Their fundamentals in the school education is not as strong. So if you are in the 2nd or the 3rd year of your graduation, it's a very right time to start off with your basic reading. Basic reading is finish off the 5 important NCERTs, which is Geography NCERT, History NCERT. Please look up the NCERT on science also, okay, particularly biology. Look up NCERT related to civics, whatever you have. So these 4 or 5 subjects, if you have done properly, it does help you. And of course, polity also. 11th, 12th May, you can take up some readings of polity and also economy also. So you can start a preparation if you are in the 2nd or 3rd year of graduation. Some anonymous one. Book list material are similar. Edge, so I will answer this question, Sayak. Do not go by the link, the long list of books, please. Career marking is important. No, it's not important at all. So what you have done, forget about it. What you cannot go back and rectify your marks of your 10th and 12th. If you have good marks, it helps. If you do not have good marks, don't bother about it. Career marking is not a part of your actual qualification. It's all about impression. That's all. Okay. So I think I've taken up most of the questions asked on the question and answer. Can a person outside Odisha apply? I think it becomes almost no, because you do not know ODIA subject. ODIA is a compulsory paper. Am I right, Sambit sir? Yes. So ODIA is a compulsory paper. So without that, you can't qualify. That's how, okay, people outside states can't really apply. Okay. So I think I've answered all the questions of your question and answer. Okay. Anything else are we missing out? Let me check. Current affairs, graduation. Yes, you can, Asha. Priyavanshi Das. Yes, you can take up economics, also is optional. In fact, it can also help you in Indian economic service. Okay, but then I'll suggest do take up a good coaching. Okay, either online or offline. Economics has been doing well. It's a very technical paper, but do take up some coaching. You can take up economics optional if you are confident in that. Cutoff, yes, there's a minimum mark beyond which you're not selected. The cutoff varies. Generally, it's nice if you score in the range of 100, 110. 110 is a safe score for most of the papers. Can you get video recordings? Yes, you can, Keshav. You can get video recordings also as a part of offerings. It's there. Minimum time required to complete full syllabus of GS. Sambit, aap batayenge, sir, what time required to complete the full syllabus of GS? I do not know how to answer this question. Maybe you can answer this.
You try to complete. I don't know. I also don't have an answer. But yes, I think if you are at it for a year, I think you will have reasonable command and mastery over the subjects.
I think the biggest mistake in this question is complete the syllabus. Mere bache, this is not a school examination where the subject can be completed. इसमें आप खत्म हो जाओगे, दुनिया खत्म हो जाएगा, लेकिन syllabus खत्म नहीं होगा. If you have that appreciation, I think you will do well in the examination. There's nothing like completing the syllabus. Remember this. Yes, that is the base that you need, and you need to develop on that slowly, gradually. To develop the base and have substantial command, you require at least 1.5 years. Why 1.5 years? Because the GS classes themselves require 10 odd months or 11 odd months, and then you require 2-3 months to consolidate what you have read. That's why I'm saying it's nice if you can begin in the graduation years itself. Start in the second year, start in the third year if you can. But there's nothing like completion of syllabus. Please don't even aspire for that. Some of you are asking us about online classes. Now see, online classes is a new way of studying. Online classes is a new medium of studying. And you are right, online classes tend to take at least 15 to 20% more time, okay, because there is an element of fatigue, an element of students asking a lot of questions. So it does take time. But notes are important. You are right. If you do not take notes, you will be in trouble. In fact, that is why in Edukemy, we support students with the class notes also. You are part of our classes, and then you can also make your notes. And we also give you notes from our side. By the way, Chaya, you can probably take a few minutes and tell our students and participants here what are the courses that we are launching.
So we are starting with our programs from 4th of October. You can keep a tab of this on the website, that is edukemy.com. So we will be launching courses for the students appearing for OPSC in 2022. So we will have courses on GS and CSET, which will be a 6-month course. Then we are having classes on Mains GS. Then there will be courses on Prelims as well. So these are the courses that we are offering. It will be the first course, that is the OAS package. It will cover your prelims, mains. Also, we will cover your language and essay courses here. It will be an 18-month course. Okay. Then we are also offering you tests for your examination, like courses, test series for GS, then CSET, then you have test series prelims, CSET plus mains, and you have a dedicated course for prelims and CSET. All these details will be live on our website soon, so stay tuned for that. And one good news for all the people, all the aspirants, is that we are also having a scholarship test for you. So whoever is interested, you can definitely log in and register. The test will be live on 12th of September, but the registrations will start from tomorrow, that is 30th of August. And it will be 100% scholarship for students who will cross the cutoff mark. So do go through that. You will also have personalized mentorship. And one more news that would like to bring up to you is that we are also going to have an experience center in Orissa, in Bhubaneswar, and it is under process. And once the office is available, we will inform you regarding that as well. This will be the address of the office, that is M5/17 ground floor, Somi Palace, Acharya Vihar, Bhubaneswar. We also have an office in Delhi, Noida, plus an office in Bangalore. So these are the broad courses that we have right now. We will launch everything from 1st of November. So we'll share you the details about this on our website. Okay.
Thank you so much. So I think I have shared whatever courses we are offering. Any questions you have on this? Anything you want to ask me or Sambit sir? I've covered how to read current affairs, how to choose your optional. We have a brief idea about how your groups can help you. We have talked about how to prepare OPSC and UPSC, not necessarily at the same time, but again, it's a matter of personal choice if you're comfortable. We have discussed your preparation can start in the 3rd or the 2nd year itself. Okay. Lambodar, okay, I will see. Chaya, keep a note, please. Lambodar wants to know the list of books for public administration. Maybe our compilation of books you can share with him, please. We also offer public administration course. So what we'll do with the list is, we'll give you a list of all the 4-5 options we are offering in geography, political science, public administration, sociology.
Sir, I'm adding something here, that once our courses are live and this admission process will start, you will receive your book list and all the details regarding how to go about the examination. So there is nothing to worry about this. We are organizing all the sessions like this only. So you don't have to worry regarding the book list. You'll get it soon.
Even otherwise, Chaya, I'll suggest give them the book list before they join. They can always have that. Not a problem.
Okay, sure, sir.
Okay, so sir, any last word you want to?
Last words, I would say all the best. And the small piece of advice, given the nature of the exams, as I said, it is more or less, it is elimination, that's selection. One need to have a backup. You should not completely invest yourself in this exam, and you need to have a backup. Prepare for the exam, dream about succeeding, and make all efforts. Give your 100%. But don't get disappointed if you don't make it. So that should be the underlying thing, because the world is big and has many more opportunities, and that's what I would like to conclude my remarks with. Thank you so much. And all the best.
Sir, the students are insisting if you can share one experience of yours, maybe something challenging that you faced in your career or in your preparation. Any incident you can share with them. There are 3-4 requests on that. Something about the role that you did, something that was inspiring for you. I've got 6-7 messages requesting you for that. If you can spare few minutes on that, please.
See, I would say why we join the civil services. The civil services as a career provides you with a lot of options and opportunities. This is something which provides you with a plethora of choices which none other career can offer. Regarding my own experience, I would say that I started with the tax department, and I worked in various ministries. Most notably, I was working in the Ministry of Finance, where I was involved in 2 budget exercises, 2007 and 2008. And you know that budget exercises are very rigorous. So June to February, whatever changes you see in the Finance Act, whatever the Finance Minister reads on the floor of the House, we get to be part of that exercise. It's very exciting, but at the same time, it's also, you have to actually literally, you have to burn your midnight oil. No Saturdays, no Sundays, and almost 15 hours. But it is exciting to see that whatever you do, whatever you prepare, whatever things you suggest, they come in the newspapers the next day. So that is one. The second thing, when I was on deputation, I would just take one instance where all of you who is preparing for the civil services exams would be knowing that Ujjwala, where the gas cylinders were provided to the people, disadvantaged sections of the society. So the whole conceptualization, the policy framework, the even the advertisement collaterals, organizing the various outreach programs were all I was closely associated with that, and the kind of satisfaction that provides when at the very top you are able to drive a policy and which impacts the lives of so many people, 8 crore people in the whole country. It really gives you that kind of immense satisfaction. So these are the 2 instances which I would like to narrate. There are many more, but I think the paucity of time, and this would that is the challenge of bureaucracy, that's the challenge of Indian civil services, and that really is exciting. About preparation challenges, as I said that my preparation, I don't think I faced many challenges, because I was in JNU, I was doing my masters. So, and I did my masters quite seriously. I did my masters and MPhil quite seriously, and side by side I was preparing for the exam. And as the law could have it, I qualified for the exams just as I was finishing my dissertation in MPhil. So I didn't have much challenge. I did not, it was a very seamless transition from being a student to the role of a bureaucrat. So that's how it happened. I must say that God was very kind to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Guys, if you qualify, you will have all these moments, you'll have all these opportunities. You'll get to be part of the highest decision-making institutions in the country. So from all of us here at Edukemy, I thank Sambit sir, and I also thank all of you to have joined us in this conversation. There are a lot of things you can ask us if you want to. We'll try making up a group for all of you where you can interact with us. But the most of the questions that could have bothered you, questions around how to prepare optionals, and just to share one thing with all of you, online preparation is aided by a couple of softwares that we have developed. So we have a very unique software that helps us support you in your answer writing process. So some of you are asking me about how to write good answers. So writing good answers comes with practice and getting your answers evaluated. So all of that, we have technology supporting us. So if you want to experience some of that, be part of our process. The courses launches we have announced, and I'll recommend all of you be part of the scholarship program. Take the scholarship test. You will get concessions. Yes, we also give you guidance for essays writing also. In fact, I am the essays teacher also, apart from the geography as an optional at Edukemy. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much. And subject-specific conversations will launch some other webinars. You can join that, and we will be very happy to share our experience in those. Thank you so much, all of you. Okay,
Thank
my
you.
wishes
All
to
the
you,
best.
and thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. It's a
Thank you.
privilege. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope all your queries have been solved here. So in case you have any further queries with us, do write to us at support@edukemy.com, or you can use the phone number that we have shared you already. We'll send you a mail soon with all the details regarding the exam, the book list, and the courses that we are offering. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.